Hey everyone, welcome back to Jaraci Cup 7. We're going to continue moving through the Groupstage B, there we go, as we cast this game between myself and Moose, and we will see which land mammal is better, but I have a feeling it's going to be me. Obviously, this played about a week ago, maybe a bit more than that. I picked Gaussian first, Moose picked Sauvon, and I picked the Boneyard for game 1. I feel very happy on this map, and I've got that spawn. Base Runner Retires coming out. I messed up the build here, apparently. That's alright, though. Skimmer Fab started, 2 on RUs. You all know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a Rail Rush. I wouldn't do anything else, would I? I guess that's not true, because in the games against Captain Pink, I did have this spawn and I went ref mode instead, but you can tell I'm out for blood. I accidentally, I queued this Salvager a little bit late, so my macro is gonna be a little bit weak here. I probably will only get 3 skims before Rail Tech, but that's alright. I'll be feeling okay about that. Skimmer Fab is done, so I'm going to just start instantly producing off of this PC. And Moose playing Sauvon. I love this targeting jammer drop right here. Obviously, that's pretty much free for him. But what he's going to want to do... Excuse me. What he's going to want to do, first and foremost, is identify what kind of rush is going on here. He's going LAVs first. That's very convenient for him, because obviously he's going to want to be able to fight my strike craft here. Him keeping the base runner tells me maybe he was planning on going for like a sport cruiser at this point, but the probe is out here. He's continued to make LAVs, so he's going to see what's going on pretty early here, and what he wants to do probably is get that carry production upgrade early, trying to win the strike craft battle, and then if he can, you know, go into railguns and hold me off. But in that case, it's very, very convenient that this probe lived, because he can send the probe down to my carrier and see what the tech is going to be. And if the tech is rails, that's what he wants to do, but if the tech is assault ships, obviously he would probably lose that way, right? So having this info from this probe is really, really good for him. And sure enough, he is sending it to the right spot. And actually this, you know, because he's doing everything right here, I think this is a good time to point out. I think, if I remember correctly, this is like the best series I'd ever seen Moose play or something like that. So he definitely has improved as of late. He's going to see the carrier, no tech yet. That actually probably already tells you it's rails, and a really good targeting jammer. Sorry, I missed that. It's actually going to catch one of the sand skimmers and allow the LAVs to trade 2 for 1, even though he didn't have the numbers advantage. So really, really nicely done there as well. That's going to force me to back away a little bit, but Rail Fab is done right now, actually. And I've got the money for an assault rail, so I'm going to queue that up immediately. And yeah, he knows about this too, because obviously probe's here. There's the rail module. I mentioned it in the last cast, but the armor unit is always going to be the one further back on the carrier, i.e. this one, and the rail unit is always going to be the one in the middle. That being said, though, this is not the easiest hold for me. He does have the production upgrade on the way. Or, sorry, not the easiest push for me. He's the one holding. And he is kind of on top of this assault rail, so there's thoughts that he could kill it, but I think it's a bit of an overextend, because he does get it, but he loses 2 LAVs for it. I'm going to try to kite that guy but not really succeed, but I do get 2 guys on the back line. So we end up trading 4 for 1 plus an assault rail, 5 for 1 actually. Uh-oh, maybe we have a bit of a rundown going on here, but it looks like I'm going to back away. I don't know the cooldown exactly on the targeting jammer by heart, so he may have that up. I'm not really confident to keep pushing in like that. Second PC on the way for me, because obviously he is responding with LAVs, that's what I want to do. I want to get a couple of assault rails, but then But then I mostly want to respond by having a lot of skims. And look at that targeting jammer, it's immaculate. I mean, that's a free assault rail. And with that guy dead, all of a sudden, I think Moose can pretty much push me off of this. However, this is maybe a bad trade, because he had one guy low already that I can isolate. He does go 1 for 1 though, but he takes quite a bit of damage on this LAV, who's going to just kind of suicide in there as well. Oh. I popped back in just to try and pick off that guy who's low. Assault rail was coming out too, so I felt like I needed to fight. I think that's kind of what was going on there. But look how many LAVs are still streaming out of this carrier. It's pretty clear I'm not going to win this just by 1 PC production. We're not going to stabilize anytime soon. Still though, he's trading a little bit inefficiently off the front, and that's really good for me. So now the question is, do I go for ref mode or do I continue the push? Looks like I'm going to go for ref mode, but I may cancel that depending on how I feel. We do have 2 PC out though now, so that means that we can have the skim majority, which means that we can easily defend against these LAVs, but if my opponent techs, obviously we may have trouble, and indeed he is going to tech to rails. The other thing he could do is just expand, go for 2 base. Actually, I probably would like that better if he would expand instead. But he could honestly do both. Ref mode is close, so it looks like I'm not going to cancel that. And then I really should be moving the carrier already. Well, no, I guess ref mode isn't done yet, but I want to have the carrier here to help defend against this. Yeah, right? This is the most fun micro in DOK when you're like Strikecraft on Strikecraft. This is unfortunate, I'm going to probably lose a Salvager here. Really good targeting jammer as well. Yeah, and he's going to use that to push in, kill off that Salvager. And yeah, he's not expanded to 2 base, but his eco is stronger than mine. Because even though I've got ref mode now, I'm still not really mining. So again, I should be moving this carrier. This is a little bit lame that I'm not moving this guy. TJ is the best thing to happen to mod ever. Yes, I agree. I freaking agree. Okay, here we go. Finally moving carrier. I bet I moved this because A-Game told me in chat, like, stop being a noob, move your carrier. That's usually how these things go. We do have a Sport Cruiser being built by Moose as well. And he's going to pick up this artifact with that base runner, which he retained. And you can see the power of that Saban base runner. And again, as I always said, in those other series that I was casting like earlier today and yesterday, keep that base runner at home until you know it's safe. Use it in the fight. It has so much value to you. He's going to kind of greed for this Assault Railgun, and that lets me take a pretty good trade. And as you can see, we have another one out already. Anytime he pushes in for that Assault Rail, it's going to be difficult for him to trade effectively. But he does have the upgrade advantage. He's got Assault Pack, and he has Damage 1. But I'm looking to get up onto 3 base if I can, but it's tricky. I should probably move the carrier back at this point. But I'm not going to do it. I don't have Power 1 either, so I feel like I don't need it. LAV Armor getting tech now as well. That's obviously a response to the Assault Rails. This guy's spawning in a bit of a bad spot, but... but you can see Assault Rails really make this difficult. He has Rail Tech, but he hasn't built any yet, so a couple of those in the front line would be really nice here. And it looks like I'm not really interested in going up to 3 base either. I actually want to push here. That might be a mistake, because we could have air coming, I don't know. This is a little bit blind of me. I also shouldn't be fighting like this, because he does have the upgrade lead by... Well, it's a pretty significant upgrade lead, I guess I'll just say. I should just be waiting to have, like, Assault Rails with me and stuff like that. And now I'm gonna have to rebuild a bunch of Sand Skimmers, but... I am gonna ward him off of this artifact, though, which is important, and I do have a base runner as well, myself. And this is a really bad trade right here. But, you know, with the targeting jammer... No, it's because he still lost so much on the run-up. Base runner's here for heal as well, so I want him to push. And yeah, he's going to push, so base runner heal turns on. He can get around you pretty easily. Oh, wait. So yeah, that lets me trade really, really efficiently here, despite the fact that I still have the upgrade disadvantage. And so you can see, these Assault Rails untouched. I did lose a bunch of skims, but he lost more LAVs. And this army is not blunted at all by that. Now he's got rails out. And that does make it a bit awkward, because my carrier is not really equipped to deal with that just yet, but I'm kind of in a good position. One of these days you're gonna learn how to use Assault Rails. Yeah. I mean, basically, like, I don't know why it was so hard for me to figure it out, because it's really pretty simple. I'm still not terribly good at it, but like, A-Game would just yell at me over and over again until finally I figured out how to use them right. But, you know, they trade infinitely well against LAVs because LAVs don't have the range on them. So you just hold them back, leave the skims with the Assault Rails, and then once the LAVs boost to get on top of them, then the skims drive out and you fight, right? And if you got a base runner to do heal, that's even better. If you have a blast drone hiding, that's awesome. But that's basically, you know, just how you want to take that fight. LAV is getting a little bit dinged up by the carrier here, but right now I'm fighting with just the skims, so this is a little bit of a bad trade. There's the Assault Rails, that's what we wanted to do. But see, like here, the Sand Skimmers don't need to be trading, because the Assault Rails can trade forever. Like, with perfect efficiency. So the Sand Skimmers just hide here as the Assault Rails take shots. And then once they get jumped on, that's when the skims get involved. That's kind of the way that would be played. Really good targeting jammer once again. But there's not really any follow-up here, is there? So unfortunately, that's going to be the end for that. Didn't lose any of these assault rails still. And now we have a couple of heavies coming out across the field, too. And obviously, if I'm going to move my carrier out like this, at the bare minimum, I have to deny his second, but I really... or his third, but I really want to deny his second. 2 artifacts, though, that's got to feel nice. And I'm ready to sort of hold this ground here if I can deal with these railguns. I have to give up a little bit of ground. Because obviously, he's got these rails out. I'm going for power 3 as well. Actually, I would prefer range calibration here. I think power 3 maybe is a bit of a mistake. Oh hey, Moose is back. I was just complimenting your excellent play here. Although you have traded pretty inefficiently with LAVs, but the thing is, now that he's got the rails though, this is where he actually has kind of the most power. His LAVs have a big upgrade lead, right? He has full ups, I have rating only. But my assault rails have just been killing him, right? So what he wants to do is get the rails in range to ward the assault rails off, and then let the LAVs do their job against the skims. And now he's able to trade efficiently if he wants, right? But he's kind of let me get the heavy rails up here, which is a little bit... it's a little bit unfortunate, because now, you know, I'm going to be able to fight back, but these LAVs finding a really good window in here. The assault rails getting carrier blocked, they're kind of out of position, and they're getting hit by the rails from him. Oh, and this targeting jammer is excellent, too. So he's going to get a heavy rail for... no, 2 heavy rails, I think, for free there. Only losing a couple of LAVs. So that was a really good trade. And that's actually big problems for me too, because a lot of what I'm trying to do here revolves around keeping these heavy rails up so that I can, you know, not have my assault rail plan ruined by these railguns here. By the way, targeting jammers actually don't work on carriers, so unfortunately that doesn't quite work. But I'll tell you what I was really worried about this game. Saying this is bannable offense, yeah, it's true. A-Game's a mod, he'll ban you immediately. Oh, look at that. Actually, it's a little bit too close, because the base sprinter was caught in it too, but... doesn't matter, he's gonna get out. Oh, beautiful. Anyway, what I was really worried about was a flank here. I was worried that he was gonna, you know, come in through on the flank. That's what these guys were there for, but they caught the base runner. But he did get the extract, which is really nice for him. You can see, this is a pretty low number of rails, actually. And I need to hold off all of these LAVs, basically just using my carrier, right? Because 2 assault rails is not going to be enough here. And indeed, we take a bad trade because the assault rails go down almost instantly to the rails from him. Well, one of them does anyway. But this is a bit of an overextend as he tries to greed for this assault rail. He does get it in the end, but at the cost of all of those LAVs. So it started out as a good trade, but he stuck in just a little bit too late. And now we have auto guards on the queue, almost finished. And all of a sudden, this finally looks to me like it's probably game over. Up until now, though, this has been a really even game. I think I had the upper hand after the LAV engage right here that went badly, but not by much. This was really close. But at this point, it starts to look a little bit difficult, I guess I would say, for Moose. And indeed, I'm going to get range calibration as well. This is what I was talking about earlier. If I can outrange his railguns, I should basically just never lose. There's no way he gets up onto this third base. I've started LDMing. And, yeah, this is a pretty comfortable look for me. Range calibration done in a few seconds. We're going to pick up another artifact. We should be able to extract this one too. More difficult to touch this one. And he did grab that as well, which stops me from being able to use it. But I use my carrier to kind of tank the damage here and be my spotter. But I'm a little bit too far away here, so I should probably just back off. Or I can just sit here and take damage, that's fine. Actually, that might be a good move. No, this is obviously a mistake. But I want to get these guys up here onto the hill and then turn on range calibration. Yeah, okay, I'm finally going to pull back here. Maybe I was thinking I could, like, buy time for this base runner to come out or something like that, but it's unlikely. But it looks like Moose kind of feels like he needs to push now. He's got Battlecruiser Fab started. But obviously he's coming up onto a high ground where I have rails with calibration on. I don't think he will win that. Well, that being said, he's got that Saban carrier. He's doing damage to them, but yeah, he's just taking a lot of damage here. He needs to back away. Uh-oh. He's turning back? He's coming in? There's no way. Also, he really needs to power up the armor as well, eh? But... yeah, I mean, there's no way he can win this, right? And indeed, even though he's backing away, yeah, he hasn't got time to do it. And so that'll be the end of the game. Assault Rails, man. Good unit. I'd say, both really big engagements where he lost, like, the really big number of LAVs and allowed me to win the game were due to, like, over-chasing on Assault Rails. One of them back here, one of them back here. And yeah, the carrier BM drift, of course, to finish it off. Although I will say, I was really afraid of a backstab this game, but it never came. And it's difficult to pull those off because you feel like, well, if I leave my army on, like, the front line, like, if I leave the front line with my army, he's just gonna push in and kill me, but that actually could maybe have done some good damage, so I don't know. But I've gotta say, that was definitely the best game I've ever seen Moose play before. And, and I don't think he's gonna stop there. Let's check out game 2, shall we? After which, since we have Kao Shmao and Moose in the chat, I think that's the game we have to cast next, right? The land mammal battle. So we'll be checking that out after. Stay tuned. But game 2 is going to be on Kalash Teeth. I'm editing my pick band document here because for some reason I didn't I didn't actually write that down. It just says Moose pick and then blank. But anyway, he picks Saban first, and I'm actually going to match him with Saban as well. Definitely my weaker faction by far, I'll say. But, you know, I kind of know how to play Saban, sort of. You'll see I'm going, I think, for SC first right here. I should probably throw down a targeting jammer, just like right there. Because that thing will come off of cooldown before any fight would happen, but... oops. Okay. I did see it. I was worried I was, like, leaving this guy idle. Anyway, just doing a bit of quick dropping there, but we do have a Sport Cruiser on the way. And, Sport Cruiser first is a pretty easy build to run. All I've got to do... it's not the best position. Well, actually... oh, wait. Yeah, he can go there and kill it, but, like, it's not actually that bad. It would have been better if it was, like, right here, though. Anyway, all you gotta do is build a Sport Cruiser after 2 Salvagers, get LAV Fab, and then get a Probe in that order. And you're pretty good. It's not too hard to pull off. Here comes the Probe for me. Probe is coming out for him as well. And as for his build, it looks like pretty similar to last time, so he has that Probe out, but he's also going for a couple of LAVs. We're gonna see this LAV, but the Probe actually dies, and that's a really big pickup. Excellent work there. He's gonna see us moving out, so he kind of assumes, yeah, that's gonna be Sport Cruiser first, but I don't know what he's doing, so I'm gonna build an LAV here. I'm not really terribly confident, just like, you know... wow, that has a really big contact range. Did you see that? Oh my gosh. Saban is so broken. Anyway, I'm gonna see this LAV coming over here on the side. So I'm gonna tech to AVs. I should probably move my carrier back. Yep, here we go. But we're able to fight this guy 1v1 because we have the Sport Cruiser here, so we're not worried about that. I may not be able to chase him out though, because obviously Saban carrier a bit of a wet noodle against Strikecraft at these early levels. But AV Fab is about 30 seconds out. And Moose is going to be building his Sport Cruiser now. I love this build, by the way. 2 on CUs over there, and then 1 on RUs on the main base. That tells me he's really thinking about it, which is quite fun to see. So he's moving out onto his second base here, and then the idea is that he'll be actually ahead on eco if he can stall me for just a little bit longer, but it doesn't look like he can. However, he will take the advantage of getting an artifact out, and we should be about even on economy, right? AV Fab done for me now. And this is the build that we tuned oh, Probe goes down there. This is the build that we tuned LAVs up for, by the way. Because it used to be that if you went for a C first, you would just always come out ahead on this in this type of matchup, right? When one person goes LAVs and the other one just goes straight to AV tech. But it's not true anymore, and I like that a lot. Obviously, it's fun that you actually have like an eco matchup here where both players will turn out even if they have even skill, or one of them will get ahead if he's more skilled in pulling off the build and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of fun to see. And it is in fact Moose who is slightly ahead here, you would say as well. Although I have the AVs out that he doesn't, so even though he's got 2 on RUs there, I do actually have a bit of an advantage in that respect. He is fully saturated on the main too, so he hasn't forgotten about that. 1 artifact out, and this is a pretty even game. This is fun. Heavy's Armor 2 coming out for me now. I'm going to move this base runner out here to try and grab that artifact. I want to pull this guy back. Yep, there we go. RIP. And then we're just going to go for a bit of scouting here. Well, maybe not. I should go for a bit of scouting. This is something we haven't seen yet. Like, where is this carrier actually? Is he on 2 base, 3 base even? I don't know. So I should actually really have kept that guy moving out there and get a bit of info, but that's alright. Carrier production upgrade just now finally coming out for me. And I am going to pick up this artifact and attempt to extract. Although it doesn't have any escort, which is a little bit suspicious. Moose gonna have to pull off the line now. So he's backing off a little bit from the main base, but his carrier pops in. He does have the railguns. I'm gonna have to back away. And that 1 artifact is going to be pretty crucial for this defense. He didn't have the tech power 1, so he'll be happy with that. And this base runner will extract for sure. But it may be in some danger afterward. I probably want to just make a beeline straight for this AV here. Okay, there we go. It's always unfortunate when I'm like, this is the right move, and then I'll watch myself not do it for like a second. But that's alright. He'll actually be okay. Yeah, I think he'll be just fine here. And you can see this is double base runner for me because I'm trying to be safe in case he goes for air. And I've got the, obviously, turrets that I can deploy as well. And as a result, keeping these guys alive is actually really important to me. Targeting jammers for days, man. Why did I delete that one? Or maybe he killed it, I couldn't see. That was funny. But I got the kill there, so that's a nice trade for me. And our probe is going to come over here and see the tech. No rails, no air. So he's got the same tech that I do. I'm going to move up to Assault Cruiser Fab then, and I'm going to actually try to deny this artifact if I'm able. With these AVs here, and the carrier. But I think this guy will make it out. I should be able to kill the base runner after, though. This probe going to get sniped here, so that's kind of nice. Oh, this guy was making a jump. That's kind of nice for Moose, that he just gets rid of that vision. Obviously, if you leave that probe there, eventually he's going to know what your tech is. And he's going to get up onto 3 base before me, actually. Look at that, I even dropped an ALM to try and stop this, but not going to happen. This base runner is going to go down, but he does get the artifact out. And then at this point, I probably want to think about moving up onto 3 base. Because my opponent is there already, so he actually does have, like I said, the eco lead right now. No tech choice, though, and that tells you he's probably saving for something. He's got a lot of RUs in the bank. They're all open, and he is going to be going up to BC Fab. Gonna grab an artifact in mid. I'd love to extract this if I can. He has quite a few AVs, but I probably will be able to get this out. You remember that game we watched of the A-games where they were on College Teeth and there were like 10 targeting jammers over here? We're not going quite that crazy. Remember, I think he had like 4 base runners in that game, but... The way that my carrier moved out to deny and then came back, though, that means that actually I don't have terribly great field control right now, yeah? And I'm going to be making ACs first. And then probably a support cruiser and then move out across the field. So there's kind of a window here where I think Moose can sort of, you know, gain control over the midfield here. Really good targeting jammer there, though. It's going to stop these LAVs in their tracks. I like the smoke, though, to just try and save them if you can. Oh, I don't know about this fight, though. We do have the upgrade lead at the moment, although that's about to change. That was a bit messy the way I just kind of drove up there like that. No targeting jammer either. Well, no, I do. I've got a targeting jammer right here. Well, then it would be great to send this guy up. Yeah, so he's going to move up there. I love that smoke because his idea is to kill the base runner. Unfortunately, he hasn't actually got line of sight just yet. Okay, there's the targeting jammer. But he's got one too? Oh, I love it. I freaking love targeting jammers, man. Just trying to smoke that base runner out, keep him alive as long as I can. He probably will make it, but I don't think we can extract here, so we're going to have to pull back onto our main base. And the first AC is out for me as well. Looks like I'm making 3 here. But look at this, I love this. Just a little poke into the base. That's a really good move from Moose. I'll probably be okay, right? Because like I've got the ALMs to slow him just a little bit, and I can just move the SC over here to these guys, but... Really, really nice poke, though. And then this AC should probably just move like that, but I don't know. Oh, I love the split, too. And he doesn't overcommit, too, which is really nice, but he probably wants to back out now. So yeah, that was just a really clean eco disruption, eh? And he got 1 ALM for it, so I'd even say it was like worth if he loses this AV. However, the AC is up here in his face. Overcharge being used as well. I probably just want to focus these salvagers. I don't think the AV is really that important, but... Oh, this is a bit messy, isn't it? It's alright, though. Again, this is pressure, right? All we gotta do is just move this guy back here. Really nice targeting jammer, though. It's gonna block all of these abilities here. This AC is gonna die, actually. Oh, man. Just ignore that. That never happened. Yeah, that was a pretty trash AC there. What it should have done, obviously, was backed away, but I might have given the order while it was under a TJ EMP, which... Or, sorry, ALM EMP, which, as you know, you can't actually give orders while units are stunned. Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. Artillery has been teched for me, though, and I'm moving my carrier out across the middle. I don't have terribly great power reserves, though, and obviously my opponent has got more artifacts than me, so... He's also got a BC here. And then this is the most cringe thing ever. Look at this. Okay, drop the missiles right. No, I healed. Oh. So bad. That's why these guys were fighting, right? It's because obviously we have heal coming out. So now my carrier all of a sudden has to, like, drive back and try and deal with this. So that was a really impactful mistake there that I made. I do have targeting jammers, though, and we know that BCs are pretty bad when they get targeting jammed. We're able to actually trade efficiently against the AVs amazingly, so this is maybe not as bad as it looks, but... Definitely, though, you'd say Moose has got all the field control right now. He has a base runner as well, so he can pick up artifacts if he wants them. But we are going to kill this BC. Oh, nice. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. And we do have artillery out as well, and I think artillery is a pretty good match for BCs too. If it were BCs versus ACs, I would prefer the BCs, right? But BCs versus ACs and artillery, I think I know who I prefer in that matchup. We're gonna leave these targeting jammers up for now, though, because obviously that might be important if he pushes on us later. And now there's a couple of AVs pushing in here, so I'm gonna leave this AC back on the base. Good targeting jammer from him, though, is gonna make me sort of reconsider. It's weird, this guy can use overcharge while he's in the targeting jammer. I didn't know that. But all of a sudden, actually, a BC and a support cruiser pushing in here. This is actually really quite a threat, and I missed my precision barrage too, you see that? So all of a sudden, this could be kind of bad. We're gonna smoke to just buy a bit of time here. Meanwhile, a fight is going on with these carriers, though. He's just like right up on top of me. He has more power, but I've got the artillery, so you can't really push on there. I lose an AC over here, it looks like. This guy's got TJ ready, though. Oh, careful. I gotta throw it now if I don't want to just lose this guy for nothing. Oh. That's really quite unfortunate. That targeting jammer could have been really impactful here. We're gonna pop heal again, apparently. That looks a little bit silly. But I don't have anything to deal with this, so I've just gotta run, right? This BC wants to get in on the backline too, but unfortunately I don't think he's gonna be able to. All of a sudden, this is just total chaos. I don't know what the heck is going on anymore. But this main base, it has to be evacuated, and he's got a lot of damage in that respect. But his artillery is pretty strong too, so I think what he wants to do is just like double down on winning by eco. If he can kill that sport cruiser, great, but these two should back away and start pushing on this side. And then, you know, send the AVs against the, send the AVs to chase this. But this is getting technical. You can see this much artillery, it really hurts those BCs a lot, and they can't really dodge it. He's gonna start driving back up through the choke though, and I've gotta say that seems like a bit of a mistake. I've got an AC as well, obviously. That choke is gonna be great if I can, you know, hit T instead of R this time. I'm gonna be able to dump a lot of damage on these units, especially if they get ALM stunned. Yeah, here we go. Oh, but this targeting jammer, look at that. It's even gonna catch the AC as it comes out. Allows his units to kind of close the distance. He kills an artillery. But another attack missile barrage is going to land squarely on that BC and the sport cruiser. That BC will fall in the end. I'm going to run for my life here, but that sport cruiser should be forfeit. And these artillery cruisers are all low, but none of them died, and that's going to be really crucial. Did you hear I thought I heard a cruise missile launching, but I guess not. Artillery trying to get rid of that AV, but he didn't kill the support cruiser. This guy left on 10 HP. That's immaculate. But now see, I've got the advantage of this choke point. Lots of damage being dumped here by those precision barrages. They kill a BC. They damage that carrier quite a lot as well. And he can't touch him. He doesn't have line of sight. Oh my gosh, this freaking support cruiser is still alive too. Can you believe that? And that carrier is actually gonna go down. What a freaking series, man. And let me just run a test here. Yeah, okay, good. I was worried for a second I wasn't seeing these on the screen, but crazy freaking game. It just got so chaotic at the end, but I am going to come out on top. That brings the series to 2-1, or sorry, 2-0. And that is going to be that for me.